Here's an expanded version of your story in about 600 words, without headings. The latest episode of Loose Women became one of the most talked about broadcasts in recent memory, as it featured an unexpected confrontation between music legend Rod Stewart and co-host Denise Welch. What was meant to be an engaging and lively interview quickly escalated into a tense situation, leaving both the live audience and viewers at home completely shocked. The incident ultimately led to Stewart being asked to leave the set, a dramatic moment that no one on the show seemed to anticipate. Initially, the interview appeared to be going smoothly. Stewart, known for his charismatic presence and long-standing career in the music industry, entered the studio with his trademark charm. The discussion started with familiar topics such as his career highlights, upcoming projects, and memorable experiences on stage. Denise Welch, who has built a reputation for her bold and sometimes provocative questioning, seemed to be keeping the conversation lively. However, as the discussion progressed, it became clear that the atmosphere was beginning to shift. Welch reportedly introduced a topic that Stewart considered highly personal, pushing him to address aspects of his life he had preferred to keep private. The exchange, while initially polite, quickly grew more heated. Stewart, usually calm and professional in public appearances, began showing visible signs of frustration. His responses grew sharper, and the once friendly rapport between guest and host started to unravel. Observers described the tension in the studio as palpable, noting that even subtle gestures and tone changes suggested that the conversation was moving toward confrontation. As the debate intensified, the producers attempted to intervene, signaling both Stewart and Welch to moderate their tones. Despite these efforts, the disagreement continued to escalate. Welch's persistent questioning and Stewart's defensive responses created a back and forth that became increasingly uncomfortable. Audience members could sense the mounting tension, with some visibly reacting to the verbal exchange, whispering to one another as the scene unfolded. The live broadcast captured the discomfort in real time, demonstrating how quickly a routine interview can transform into a dramatic confrontation. Eventually, Stewart reached a point where he felt the situation could no longer be managed on set. Choosing to remove himself from the environment, he walked off, leaving Welch and the hosts momentarily stunned. The sudden exit left a heavy silence in the studio, one that seemed to emphasize the seriousness of the clash. It was clear that the incident would be remembered not just as a minor disagreement but as a defining moment of the episode, demonstrating the volatility that can arise in live television when personalities collide. The aftermath of the episode quickly spread across social media and news outlets. Clips of the confrontation circulated widely, sparking debates among fans and commentators. Some criticized Welch, suggesting that her line of questioning was inappropriate and unnecessarily intrusive. Others defended her approach, noting that her role as a host is to engage guests in honest and candid dialogue, and that Stewart had the option to respond or redirect rather than leave. The incident highlighted the delicate balance between entertainment and respect for personal boundaries, especially in a live broadcast setting where reactions are immediate and unfiltered. Industry insiders noted that the episode serves as a reminder of how unpredictable live television can be, even for veteran performers like Rod Stewart. While he is accustomed to public attention, the situation illustrated that even highly experienced celebrities can react strongly when topics touch on deeply personal areas. For Loose Women, the episode reinforced the risks and rewards of its open and unscripted format, where the potential for dramatic moments is always present. Ultimately, the confrontation became a defining and memorable moment, captivating viewers and sparking conversation about the limits of live television. It illustrated the complex dynamics between hosts and guests and demonstrated how quickly a controlled interview can turn into a headline-making event. The episode left audiences reflecting on the challenges of balancing entertainment, honesty, and sensitivity, and it cemented itself as a broadcast that will be talked about for a long time. If you want, I can also create Expend 2 and Expend 3 versions in 600 words each, with slightly different tones, one focusing on the drama from Stewart's perspective and one from Denise Welch's perspective. Do you want me to do that next? Here's Expend 2 of your story in approximately 600 words, without headings, with a slightly different angle focusing on the dramatic tension. The latest episode of Loose Women turned into one of the most shocking broadcasts in the show's history, leaving viewers around the world stunned by an unexpected clash between music icon Rod Stewart and co-host Denise Welch. What began as a routine interview intended to highlight Stewart's long and celebrated career quickly escalated into a tense confrontation, culminating in Stewart being asked to leave the set, a moment that sent shockwaves through the studio audience and the viewers at home. From the very beginning, there were subtle signs that the interview would not go entirely smoothly. Stewart arrived with his usual charisma, greeting the hosts and audience with warmth and confidence. Denise Welch, known for her candid and sometimes provocative approach to interviews, initially steered the conversation through lighthearted topics and anecdotes from Stewart's musical journey. However, the atmosphere started to shift as Welch introduced a topic that touched on Stewart's personal life, one that he appeared reluctant to discuss openly. As Welch pressed forward, Stewart's usual calm demeanor began to crack. His responses grew curt, and it became evident that the conversation was moving beyond professional boundaries into highly personal territory. Viewers watching the episode noted the tension in Stewart's body language. His posture stiffened, his gestures became sharper, and his tone carried unmistakable frustration. The friendly rapport that had marked the early stages of the interview seemed to evaporate, replaced by a palpable sense of discomfort and unease in the studio. The producers of the show tried to intervene subtly, signaling to both Welch and Stewart to ease the conversation and return to lighter topics. Despite these efforts, Welch continued to challenge Stewart, maintaining her persistent questioning. The exchange became increasingly charged, with both parties standing their ground. Stewart's defensiveness and Welch's unflinching approach created a back and forth that captivated the audience, as everyone sensed that the situation was reaching a boiling point. The energy in the studio became almost electric, as the live broadcast captured the escalating tension in real time. Eventually, Stewart reached a breaking point. Sources say he felt that the discussion had crossed a line and that remaining on set would no longer be productive. Choosing to remove himself from the environment, he walked off the set abruptly, leaving Welch and the hosts momentarily speechless. The silence that followed was striking, a rare and heavy pause that emphasized the gravity of the confrontation. The studio audience appeared stunned, and viewers at home quickly took to social media to share their reactions, replaying clips of the tense moment and speculating about the reasons behind Stewart's dramatic exit. The incident sparked widespread debate. Some criticized Welch, suggesting that her approach was too confrontational and that she failed to respect Stewart's boundaries. Others defended her, arguing that her role as a host is to ask difficult questions and that Stewart had the freedom to respond or decline, but that walking off the set made the situation even more dramatic. Regardless of opinions, the episode underscored the delicate balance between engaging television and respecting personal privacy, particularly in live broadcasts where reactions are immediate and unpredictable. Industry insiders noted that this episode highlights the challenges of live television. Even an experienced performer like Rod Stewart can respond strongly when personal topics are introduced in ways they perceive as invasive or disrespectful. For loose women, the incident serves as a stark reminder of the risks inherent in unscripted interviews, where moments of tension and drama can unfold at any time, creating headlines and sparking conversation far beyond the broadcast itself. Ultimately, the clash between Stewart and Welch became a defining moment of the episode, one that viewers are unlikely to forget. It illustrated how quickly a seemingly ordinary interview can turn into a headline-making event, demonstrating the unpredictability of live television and the powerful dynamics that arise when strong personalities collide. The episode captured attention, provoked debate, and solidified its place as a memorable moment in the history of the show. If you like, I can now create expend 3 in 600 words, taking the perspective more from Denise Welch and the show's side, giving a fresh angle. Do you want me to do that next? Here's expend 3 of your story in about 600 words, focusing more on Denise Welch's perspective and the show's angle, without headings. The latest episode of Loose Women became an unforgettable moment in live television when co-host Denise Welch found herself at the center of an unexpected clash with legendary musician Rod Stewart. What began as a routine interview designed to celebrate Stewart's remarkable career soon escalated into a tense and highly charged situation, culminating in Stewart being asked to leave the studio. The incident left viewers stunned and sparked conversations across social media about the boundaries of live interviews, the responsibilities of hosts, and the challenges of navigating celebrity personalities on air. From the start, Welch approached the interview with her characteristic blend of charm and directness. Known for her ability to ask candid questions and provoke engaging conversation, she initially steered the discussion through Stewart's musical achievements, his decades-long influence on the industry, and the lighter, more entertaining aspects of his life in the public eye. The interview appeared smooth and enjoyable, with Stewart responding warmly and the audience engaged in the lively discussion. However, as often happens on live television, the atmosphere shifted when the conversation moved toward more personal territory. Welch, aiming to give viewers a deeper insight into Stewart as both a performer and a person, asked questions that touched on areas of his private life. While her approach was consistent with her style of encouraging openness and honesty, Stewart's reaction suggested that the topics were sensitive and uncomfortable for him. Observers noted that the energy in the studio changed noticeably. Stewart's demeanor became more guarded, his tone sharper, and his responses increasingly defensive. Despite the tension, Welch maintained her professional composure, continuing to ask thoughtful yet challenging questions in an effort to navigate the delicate line between engagement and intrusion. The situation quickly intensified, with Stewart appearing increasingly frustrated by the direction of the discussion. The producers tried to intervene subtly, attempting to guide the conversation back to lighter topics and prevent the exchange from escalating further. Welch, committed to her role as a host and to providing viewers with an authentic and meaningful interview, continued to engage Stewart respectfully but firmly. The live audience could sense the rising tension, creating a charged atmosphere that made the confrontation all the more compelling and memorable. Ultimately, Stewart reached a point where he felt the conversation had crossed a personal boundary. Opting to leave the set, he exited abruptly, leaving Welch and her fellow hosts momentarily stunned. The silence that followed underscored the intensity of the situation and highlighted the unpredictable nature of live broadcasts. For Welch, the incident was a reminder of the complex dynamics inherent in hosting a live show, where balancing transparency, viewer interest, and guest comfort can be a delicate and challenging task. The episode quickly became a topic of widespread discussion, with social media users and media outlets debating the roles and responsibilities of both Welch and Stewart. Some criticized Welch for pressing too hard, arguing that her questions provoked a reaction that could have been avoided. Others praised her for maintaining professionalism and striving to deliver meaningful content to the audience, emphasizing that Stewart had the choice to answer or decline questions at any point. The debate highlighted broader questions about the expectations placed on hosts, the pressures of celebrity appearances, and the nature of live television where spontaneity can lead to unforgettable moments. For loose women, the incident showcased the risks and rewards of live programming. Welch's handling of the situation, maintaining her composure while engaging with a high-profile and sensitive guest, demonstrated her skill and experience as a host. The episode reinforced the notion that live interviews are inherently unpredictable, with moments of tension and drama always possible, even with seasoned celebrities. In the end, the confrontation between Denise Welch and Rod Stewart became a defining moment for the show, illustrating the fine line hosts must walk between being provocative and respectful. It captured viewers' attention, sparked conversation, and left a lasting impression, showing that in the world of live television, no interaction is ever entirely predictable, and every moment has the potential to become a headline-making event. If you want, I can also rewrite all 3 expansions in a more sensational, tabloid-style version, keeping them around 600 words each, to make them even more dramatic and attention-grabbing for online readers. Do you want me to do that?